Hey, what's up, everyone? The Sports Judge here. Hope all is well. Man, the big story around the NBA is Jontay Porter. I got to talk about this because this is a huge story. The NBA banned Toronto Raptors forward Jontay Porter, alleging he bet on games, passed on information to gamblers, and claimed illness to influence a wager, the league said Wednesday. Look, this is basically the latest example of the danger betting brings to the sport. Gambling is a real addiction. I often hear people say, well, why is so and so gambling when he earns $1 million playing a sport? That's because it's an addiction. It will take everything you have, as seen here. And obviously, Jontay Porter is a victim to it. And now, as a result, his blatant violation is being met with the most severe punishment. Sadly, he apparently couldn't stop betting and put his entire career on the line. It's really, really sad. I get it. You have to regulate it. You have to crack down on this kind of stuff. But banned for life? That's a bit too harsh. I wonder how this will affect his brother, Michael Porter Jr. of the Denver Nuggets, who has a playoff game on Saturday against the Los Angeles Lakers. I think it's something that definitely got to be addressed, but a lifetime ban? I'm struggling with that one. I don't know about that. I really don't know. The NBA is sending a message. I get it that if anybody is unwilling to protect the integrity of competition, that there will be zero suspension, no fines. You will be banned for life. But I wonder if this was a superstar player. Had this been a superstar player, would this have been done the same way? If there's nothing more important than protecting the integrity of the game, then what about handling situations, not just gambling, but all situations accordingly? Let's make an example out of a low-end bench guy on one of the worst teams. Let's make an example out of him. I still think Adam Silver is soft, and I do think this was mishandled. And I know I'm in the minority for saying that. A lot of people will disagree with me. This was a bit too much. You end a guy's career for life, not giving him a second chance. This is a forgiving country. I'm all for comebacks, second chances, redemption, people who are willing to learn from their mistakes, own up to them, take full accountability for their actions, and come back stronger. Porter won't be given that chance. I surely don't think it would be a lifetime ban for the big names. If this was a big name player, let me throw you a name out there. Kevin Durant, I hate to do this to you, or LeBron James, I hate to do this to you, but I'm just using you guys as an example. If they were caught gambling, would they have been banned? Probably not. I'm sure they would cover it up, sweep it under the rug as if it never happened and move on. Those guys can't get banned because they make the league a ton of money. For Porter, betting on himself went completely wrong and ruined him, ended his career. What did it for him is betting against his home team when he is playing that game, right? It is unacceptable, and you must be held accountable for that. But banned for life? Now, being suspended for a year, I can see that. I would be fine with that. Again, imagine if this was a superstar. Would this even be a story around the league? It would probably be hush-hush. Nobody would be talking about it. This is a lead story. We're talking about a bench player whose career is over for something so reckless. Porter is done for good after a league investigation shows he shared information. The league determined that he gave a bettor information about his own health status prior to a game and said that another individual known to be an NBA bettor placed an 80,000 bet that Porter would not hit the numbers set for him in parlays through an online sportsbook. That bet would have won 1.1 million. Porter took himself out of that game after less than 3 minutes, claiming illness, none of his stats meeting the totals set in the parlay. The 80,000 bet was frozen and not paid out, the league said, and that's when the NBA launched an investigation into the matter. I don't gamble, so it's like another language to me. When a person talks about gambling to me, I'm completely lost. I don't know what you're talking about. Sports gambling is responsible for changing the public's perception of pro sports. The booming sports betting industry makes it easier, faster, and more convenient for athletes to take part in it. All professional sports leagues understands that now that gambling is part of the reality. It's inescapable. There's really no way around it. Millionaires or not, players are going to risk their careers to place bets on teams. To some extent, anti-gambling rules being put into place is probably a good thing because players placing bets on games could be seen as influencing the scores or outcomes. But who are we to say what these players can do with their money? See, it's tricky. Gambling is an uncontrollable urge to keep doing it. It's an unhealthy obsession. And with the accessibility of online platforms, it only makes it easier for players to develop unhealthy habits and dictate the outcomes of games potentially. I think gambling, when properly regulated and controlled, is not necessarily a danger to the sport. Now, that doesn't mean it stops completely. I think you can only hope to minimize it and keep it under control. And I think for these sports leagues, navigating and policing it so that these sorts of things don't happen is the ultimate goal, right? But it's a sad day for the NBA. It's really sad. It's wild what gambling can do. This kind of stuff happens. This guy purposefully faked illnesses and played like trash to help people make money, which caused his team to lose. And I think that's why the NBA came down on him as hard as they did. All of this for about $21,000, and it cost him his NBA career. Crazy. If any NBA player thinks he can gamble against the rules of the sport in which they play and not face the consequences, it's not going to happen. You will be banned. The ads are everywhere. The leagues promote this stuff. This is a mess. You know, players, coaches, refs, executives are all, in on it, it seems. Maybe it's not a good idea to partner with these betting apps, and yet leagues are partnering with them, but you as a player can get in trouble and be banned for betting. That's bullshit. The sports world embraces gambling, but expects players not to gamble. It's hypocritical. It makes zero sense. Absolutely no sense. And integrity was already lost. I think this was an absolute clown move. The man worked hard to build a career in the NBA. This was his dream, and now it's gone. This lifetime ban was brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, the Pete Rose of basketball. Our national obsession with betting on everything has changed the landscape of professional sports. The league is comfortable associating betting on its games and encourages it. You see the ads during games from each league's betting partners. You can now bet in real time on your phones on all aspects of the game. It's getting easier and easier. It's more accessible. It's a problem, and it's not going away anytime soon. If anything, it's only going to get worse. Thanks for watching, everyone. You guys take care. Don't forget to do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button. We'll talk very soon. Have a good night.